Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to delve into the lore of Death Stranding 2 in a chronological order and with a simple presentation. It appears that in Death Stranding 2, in addition to discovering what happens right after the conclusion of the first game, we are also given nearly all the answers and plot twists that stem from the first game, and even some incidents that took place prior to the sequel. Thus, if you haven't yet, I must insist that you watch the chronological video of the first game that I made previously to understand the context of several plot points we will cover here. Thank you. To condense the memory and enhance comprehension, let's first discuss the plot twist that happened before the first game, which includes BB-28 or the Dear Lou, and secondly, the formation of the APAS 4000. After that, we will proceed with the story in chronological order. Please enjoy watching. Segment 1, BB-00. It all started with the origin of the idea for creating the chiral network, specifically 3 years before the first game took place. Right before the first expedition, Bridges 1 began installing terminals across America. Or it could be said that it was 4 years before the sequel occurred, as the second game takes place 11 months after the first game's ending.
R&D commenced shortly after the Death Stranding was first observed. The inciting incident having occurred during the performance of a caesarean section to save the child of a brain-dead mother. But perhaps the rest should be explained by someone who remembers the period. If you're willing to indulge me.
I can't speak with any authority, but if you insist. When the obstetrician touched the fetus during the procedure, it's said they glimpsed the beach. Subsequent research revealed that the unborn children and still mothers possessed a special connection to the place. While communications utilizing the beach had been theorized, the framework was incomplete. These children proved to be the missing link. Afterwards, development of the chiral network began in earnest, or so I'm told.
Bridget was president when this all began, and she wouldn't permit women to be deliberately rendered brain-dead in order to produce BBs. But the Bridges researchers were not deterred, and they pressed on with their plan in spite of the president's misgivings. To secure test subjects, it seems Bridges smuggled pregnant women into the country from Mexico, among other places. Consequently, they were able to produce the BBs needed to make the chiral network a reality.
As I explained in the previous video, Bridget instructed Bridges to make the chiral network a reality, right? In this case, Bridges also applied the principle of by any means necessary, so even without official permission, if that is indeed a quick or even the only way, they will proceed to ensure the target is achieved.
And 4 years ago, the first Bridges expedition embarked on their journey. This is what I received from the sacrificial BBs. Including backups, a total of 10 units were prepped for integration, but only 9 were used to lay the foundations of the North American network.
This concept was also somewhat presented in the first game. If you recall, one of the delivery packages used to connect a terminal resembled an empty BB pod.
I attempted to ascertain the whereabouts of the 10th, to no avail.
And if we pay attention, the missing BB in question has the serial number BB00. When Sam arrives at the motherhood area in Australia, the doctor requests permission to inspect Lou's BB pod, where it is revealed that Lou's original serial number is BB00. This matches what is indicated inside the pod.
The thing is, when I did my examination on your pod, I got the strangest feeling. The BB in that pod was there far longer than any typical BB. I'd like to check your pod's production number. If it's an official model, it'll have one inscribed on it.
tell you right now, there's no number written on it.
No, it wouldn't be on the outside. It would be inscribed on the inner wall. Now, you can't open a pod without endangering the BB's life, but there is a way that we can peek inside. See? Right there. See, a pod's production number is a record of when the occupant was transferred from the still mother's womb. Sort of like a BB's date of birth.
Impossible. 11 years ago. On the very same day as the Void Out.
Lou's date of birth was 11 years ago.
And not just that, the serial number is BB00, which would make Lou one of the first test subjects.
Yeah, that would appear to be the case, yes.
If we scour the archives for any mention of BB00, there's a chance we might learn more about Lou's past.
But as drawbridge, we should have a higher security clearance than me personally. Just to be prudent, would you mind running a search? As Deadman determined, there was another BB-28 that existed before Lou, which was decommissioned. Fragile later discovered that, 4 years ago, Lou was assigned BB-28 serial number, and for reasons unknown, placed into storage. Now, the first expedition also set off 4 years ago, and they could surely have made use of another functional BB unit, yet again, for reasons unknown, Lou remained in storage. So did they have other plans for Lou? Was Lou deemed unsuitable for sacrifice? Or was Lou excluded from the mission for some other reason?
Like what?
Reasons such as, because that baby is your biological child, Sam. A few episodes later, it is revealed that someone intentionally saved Lou. Who else but Emily? This is even proven in the first game when Deadman claims to have received information from Bridget that Sam indeed succeeded in naming his own child Lou.
The man felt responsible, so he left. And his wife, who died, her name was Lucy. She'd been pregnant, poor woman. They were going to name their son Lou.
Didn't happen.
But it did. President Strand told me. She talked about you all the time.
After the original serial number of Lou was confirmed through an inspection conducted by the doctor, the research for documents regarding Lou continued. Here, it becomes clearer how BB00 was not used as the primary model in the sacrifice of BB. Perhaps because her still mother, Lucy, had already passed away, this method failed during testing. With Bridges' more in-depth research, they changed their approach from initially using one BB to 9, excluding BB00 and replacing it with 9 new models. From that point on, BB00 was stored until finally, when Bridges 1 expedition began, BB00 was reassigned to once disposed BB-28 and being included in one of the equipment belonging to the corpse disposal team, namely Igor.
To build the chiral network, 9 sacrificial BBs were prepared. However, the network's original design required only one, a single sacrificial BB unit facilitating chiral communications across the entire North American continent. This approach called for what was dubbed a core bridge baby, and BB00 was a lucky candidate assigned to play this role. However, Bridges subsequently abandoned the idea, their tests having failed to yield the desired results. And so it was that the model requiring multiple sacrificial BBs was ultimately adopted.
Meanwhile, Lou is placed into storage for an extended period, and for reasons yet unknown, inherited the identity of BB-28.
Records indicate that the Bridges research team was responsible for the reclassification.
Were they trying to cover up the earlier experiments by falsifying Lou's production year, perhaps? Or did Bridges have some other hidden agenda?
The first time you and Lou met? When you were entrusted with the BB previously issued to Bridges Corp's disposal. And together, the two of you made it all the way across North America.
I've also been making use of my own time on the beach to scour the UCA database for answers about BB-00. As I told you before, it's much easier to get around their security from here. We previously thought that BB-00 was placed into storage and reclassified as BB-28, and that this was done by Bridges to conceal the existence of the Corbridge baby program from the public. However, it turns out that information was falsified, and now we know what really happened. Bridges intended to decommission and dispose of BB-00, but someone intervened behind the scenes. They ensured that BB-00 was spared and sent to a storage facility where it received the BB-28 serial number. Per the official records, however, BB-00 was decommissioned, and Bridges had no reason to believe otherwise. So, who do you think was behind this deception? Well, I determined which account was used to manipulate the BB records. It was registered to a Bridges member with the highest level access permissions. As you may have guessed, Sam, it was the leader of the first expedition, Amelie. And she did it all just to protect Lou.
It becomes increasingly clear that Lou is the child of Sam, and Amelie is making every effort to protect her. And of course, we know that Amelie and Bridget are essentially the same entity, right? Therefore, Bridget indirectly provides a clue to Deadman that the baby Sam is carrying is indeed his biological child.
They were going to name their son Lou.
Didn't happen.
But it did. President Strand told me. She talked about you all the time. He didn't have to cut all ties and walk away, she said.
You wanna shut the fuck up?
Sam, I knew you'd come back. Are you doing all right? Yeah, I know you hate me.
Bridget, you're the president of jack shit.
Sam, listen to me.
By the way, Sam seems to really hate Bridget, right? Sam's hatred for Bridget serves as a bitter reminder that will further clarify our understanding of Lou. If we go back to the first game, the reason Sam despises Bridget is that she is believed to be the one who caused Lucy to fall into depression with nightmares, ultimately leading to her death, right? In reality, Lucy did not commit suicide. So, Sam hates Bridget for no reason. But what really happened to Lucy? Lucy is a nurse, and she certainly doesn't only take care of Sam. It seems that after marrying Sam, Lucy continued her work as a nurse. Things became a bit awkward when Lucy ran into one of her childhood friends, Neil, who was struggling with mental health issues after being tasked with smuggling a pregnant woman whose baby was a candidate for the Chiral Network Foundation sacrifice. In short, Lucy developed feelings for Neil, and they began an affair behind Sam's back. This infidelity seemed to go smoothly without Sam's knowledge. However, this assumption changed after Lucy checked her pregnancy, which confirmed she was expecting. For the safety of her baby, Lucy hid her pregnancy for as long as possible after hearing that a repatriated baby was crucial for the research being conducted by Bridges on the chiral network. As her belly grew, Lucy could no longer conceal her pregnancy, so she planned to alter the DNA data of the baby, originally Sam's genes, to belong to Neil. Neil agreed to Lucy's request for data forgery and promised to protect Lou. Therefore, one day, Lucy called Neil to ask for help with their escape. A week later, after Neil prepared a getaway plan for both of them, unfortunately, the plan did not go smoothly. Neil was caught.
You had to know. We'd never let you leave. You're carrying the child of a repatriate, after all. A test subject of incalculable value.
Gun! Put it down! Put it down!
No. You're wrong, because that's my child. So back the fuck off.
Back off! Back off!
Neil.
No! Check fire! Check fire! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Stay there! And hold your fire! Lucy! Hey! Fuck.
Neil.
You have to save her. Please. Please.
We can try. But there's going to be conditions. This child is invaluable to us. You have to agree to let us take it.
She'll survive. She'll survive. Give me your word.
I give you my word, Neil. I give you my word.
To be there for you and your mom, no matter what.
Both Lucy and Neil were declared dead, and their bodies were prepared for cremation by the corpse disposal team CDT. However, during the inspection of Neil's body, it was unexpectedly found that his corpse was undergoing necrosis at a faster rate, causing him to transform into a BT. Here, he seems to have become a Watcher's type BT because he can observe his surroundings, unlike a regular BT that can only sense the breath of living beings. BT Neil then traverses the corridor to find Lucy's lifeless body lying still. At the same time, Sam enters the same room to check on Lucy. When Sam uncovers the body, Lucy's abdomen is seen to be empty, indicating that Lou has already been transferred to a pod and seems to have had her baby hidden in storage for a long time until it reached Igor. Back to BT Neil, Sam appears to want to take Lucy out of the room, but Neil follows him into the corridor, and when he tries to connect with Sam, a void out is triggered, creating a crater in the area, leaving Sam alone as he is a repatriate. After that, he isolates himself as Bridget told Deadman about Sam becoming increasingly reclusive during that time, up until 10 years later when he reluctantly agreed to take on a major contract to complete the chiral network project.
I found some records from 10 years ago. A death, sudden, in the middle of a town. Young woman in the prime of her life. Nobody knew until it was too late. A void out. Her husband, who was a member of Bridges, had dooms. He tried, but he couldn't get to her in time. The whole town was wiped off the map, leaving nothing but a big crater and him. Because he was a repatriate. People wanted answers. Did the man hide his wife's body on purpose? The only survivor was the only suspect. He was easy to blame, and people did. And pretty soon, they were blaming Bridges too. The man felt responsible, so he left.
This is how Lou originally came to be in Igor's possession before returning to Sam. Now we return to the chronological lore following the ending of the first Death Stranding as we head towards the sequel. Thank you for continuing to watch. Segment 2, APAS 4000. Bridges and Fragile Express are no longer active as delivery services for UCA, and they have merged to form Drawbridge. Drawbridge is their new delivery service that still relies on human labor, especially for areas outside the reach of the chiral network. Meanwhile, within UCA, Drawbridge offers a delivery system using robots called APAS. These delivery robots can operate automatically and without obstacles thanks to the chiral network. With the rapid development of APAS, many individuals, particularly from the Fragile Express territory, like the Elder, have joined APAS, totaling 4,000 members. Unfortunately, one day, a void-out occurred that consumed the APAS data center, and the 4,000 members became victims. However, instead of being annihilated, these two groups, the APAS system and the 4,000 victims, created a strand field resembling a battlefield beach formed from the groups of World War victims, which caused them to merge into a single entity. From this, they transformed their merged system and souls into a company named APAS 4000.
Hello there, Sam. Surprised to see me, son? In answer to your question, we began after you completed the North American network. There was a massive void out in UCA territory, and the APAS data center happened to be within the affected area. I was too. I'd given up my shelter and moved to start a new life there. Between residents and staff, a total of 4,000 people were caught in the blast. There was no escape for them. Or me.
And yet our connection was not severed. In that instant, the souls of those humans and the APAS servers found themselves stranded on the same beach. They realized, being subject to a convergence.
A convergence?
Indeed. 4,000 human souls. And APAS merged into an altogether new entity. Singular and indivisible. You could call this multitude the company which APAS keeps.
By using their servers on the beach, they can stay connected to the living world. Thus, this company operates independently and has adopted the name APAC as a standalone service provider, no longer under the auspices of Drawbridge. They continue to conduct business as a delivery robot service, and the public is also aware that the souls who fell victim to the void out can still communicate through the APAS 4000 system. Therefore, people continue to live their lives while utilizing the essential services of APAC. as there is nothing suspicious occurring between APES and the public, before they declare their group leadership system. Namely, APEC claims that they are led by a virtual president, chosen through a collective opinion on what the nature of a leader should be.
Previously, the president was subject to the will of the people via a popular vote every 4 years. APAS, however, is far more efficient. It can ascertain public opinion in real time and thereby determine the appropriate course of action. This led to the adoption of a new model.
President guy? You just told me he isn't really the president.
He is not the president of the UCA. Rather, he serves as the president of APAC. APAC is a privately owned corporation responsible for the operation and oversight of APAS, a service provider to which we may delegate day-to-day governance.
In addition to successfully running their business, APAS 4000 is also expanding its delivery robot reach by extending the chiral network. This requires a third party with human porters to connect the new terminals that have been worked on for months. Coincidentally, they are looking to expand southward, not only because it is closer, but also because it will connect them near the plate gate. The plate gate in the Mexico links the American plate with Australia. For an explanation of how the plate gate was formed, please watch this other previously made video. Thank you. 11 months have passed and as several new terminals are connected to the chiral network, the home and hideout of Sam and Lou is discovered after the area around the hidden shelter is linked to the chiral network. Without wasting time, Fragile visits Sam's hideout. Sam also does not waste much time wanting to move from that place to keep his existence a secret again. Perhaps further south, he tells Fragile. However, before responding to Sam's moving plans, Fragile reveals that her visit is not just for a social call, but also to inform him that despite Sam's help in uniting the UCA, they still consider him to have stolen one of their assets, namely BB loot. Therefore, Sam must redeem himself by taking on a contract job similar to the previous one, but this time for Mexico. Fragile insists on persuading Sam because she believes this is the right offer for him to stop hiding, especially since Mexico has fewer terminals than the UCA, and she is confident Sam will complete the task easily. Sam questions this request again, wondering if it comes from Fragile's own heart, or if it is driven by the UCA, as he would certainly ignore it if it were merely another strange plan from the UCA, seemingly recalling the drama created by Die-Hardman.
There's something that you need to know, Sam. When you were back east, I slipped out of here and I went to visit you.
What? You lied? Fuck me. You have any idea what it took for me to get here?
You wouldn't have come if I hadn't. You didn't care about America or bridges. It was Die-Hardman's idea.
Great.
However, Fragile claims and assures that this is also her own desire. Fragile recounts what happened after Sam left UCA. She explains that both Bridges and Fragile are no longer working for UCA because deliveries there are now handled by another delivery service based on robots called APAC, which operates under the APAS 4000. The delivery robots can operate seamlessly with the help of the chiral network. Therefore, Bridges and Fragile Express joined forces and changed their name to Drawbridge, which provides delivery services still relying on human labor, especially for areas outside the reach of the chiral network. Fragile also emphasizes that Drawbridge, in addition to needing regular human workers, prioritizes those with dooms. This is why Fragile asks Sam to return to work for her. Regarding UCA, Fragile explains that UCA is no longer focused on governance, but rather on the continuity of delivery services in general to help fellow humans face the Death Stranding. Consequently, John Die-Hardman is no longer the president of UCA in a constitutional sense. Fragile does not explain where John has gone. When Sam inquires if there is another reason, Fragile loudly responds that there is another reason that is very important and urgent. At one of the terminals that Sam must connect to the chiral network Deadman operate. The problem is Fragile has detected a potential giant BT that will attack that location. Once again, Fragile emphasizes her reason for asking Sam because he is the first person capable of fighting the giant BT. Knowing that Die-Hardman and UCA are not directly involved, coupled with his good friend Deadman in a threatened state, Sam accepts Fragile's offer and begins working to connect the chiral network while Fragile acts as Lou's babysitter. As expected, the legend Sam Porter Bridges quickly and effortlessly connects Mexico. Segment 3: Higgs Goes Mech. Unfortunately, on his way home to reunite with Lou and Fragile, Sam receives a report of an attack at his house. There, it turns out that Higgs has mysteriously reappeared with several followers and managed to shoot Fragile, who was trying to escape from him on a bike. And as Fragile's car and her separated, baby Lou teleported herself and Fragile's soul to a beach meant for lost souls. But fortunately, Neil was also present in that special beach.
When Higgs shot me, in that instant, my Ka and my Ha were separated from one another. And the fact that Lou and I were even able to make the jump had nothing to do with me. It was Lou. Lou connected us to those poor lost souls. And at the time, being with them seemed safer than with me. So I decided to leave Lou in their care. It's my fault that you never got to watch Lou grow up. Me, who stole all those precious years. I'm so sorry, Sam. I can't give you back the time you've lost. But promise me you'll make the most of your future. With Lou. You will never be alone. Death can't tear us apart. We will always be with you.
From that point on, Neil's restless soul kept his vow to safeguard Louise until he was confident she was with the right person, specifically Sam, to whom Neil would also give Lucy's necklace, which held the original data of baby Lou. On the other hand, how could Higgs return to this world? Wasn't he trapped in the beach forever as punishment imposed by a Fragile? The answer lies within Apex President. He is the one who facilitated Higgs' resurrection as a crucial tool to encourage Sam to swiftly connect the chiral network to Australia through the Plate Gate. Apex President referred to this project as Chiral First. In short, the chiral network acts as a locking network for the human world, which is fully controlled by Apex 4000 remotely from their beach. Imagine it like encasing a region in a bubble. Apex President wants this bubble to be filled with all the continental plates, making it one bubble like the continent of Pangaea, so that all habitable areas of the Earth can be controlled and protected by Apex 4000 through this bubble. Thus, the size of this bubble will adjust to the areas connected to the chiral network. Yes, in other words, as practiced in the first game, the bubble in question is the Cupid. However, since the original design of the Cupid created by Maligan and Lochner was not intended to control members connected to the chiral network, Apex President needs a new Cupid model to function according to this strange plan. Logically, the only person who can create the Cupid is none other than Lochner. Logically as well, Lochner strongly rejects Apex President's offer before she is secretly visited by Die-Hardman, who asked Lochner to play along so that she can make her Cupid appear as requested by Apex President, but in reality it does not, instead allowing Die-Hardman to cut off Apex President's control if he attempts to control humans. Yes, all this time, Die-Hardman has been hiding his identity and actively monitoring Drawbridge's activities. This also shows that Die-Hardman takes seriously the last word Sam spoke before he disappeared, about how a president should value life and not consider himself immortal.
He wanted me to do this. To keep on being Die-Hardman.
No, he didn't. Nobody wants a president who acts like they're immortal. And if you're not scared of death, how can you value life? And life is pretty fucking fragile right now. And yeah, the old ways die hard. But that's what's gonna have to happen if we're gonna come together and build a better America. That gun won't help you here. That's her words, not mine.
Thank you, Sam.
When Die-Hardman recognized the alarming potential for Apex development to threaten people's survival, he returns behind the mask with a new identity, Charlie.
Glad you could make it, Sam. We wanted to thank you for everything you've done. And what better time than now, after you connected the entirety of Australia and bridged the gap between continents. By extending the proverbial rope, which is the chiral network, to another landmass, we have united them in the Chiroverse. A world divided, made whole, with a few sticks for encouragement. Empowering Higgs was a necessary step. It was we, you see, who built his ghost mech army for him, to use as he deemed fit.
What the hell are you talking about?
An existential threat was required to prompt you to seek strength through mutual connections. It was also necessary for APAC to equip you with sticks of your own.
APAS 4000 contacted Higgs under the pretense of seeking assistance for the Chiral First project, but Higgs, being true to his nature, had a hidden agenda behind his willingness to help APAS. His true motive was to exact revenge on everyone who had betrayed him in this world, including Amelie, whom Higgs had faithfully followed orders from. However, when Higgs found himself in the need of help, no one came to his aid, not even Amelie. Imagine the time difference in Beach. Lou, who has trapped only a few days after Sam thought that she died, has already matured. Now consider how long Higgs has been stuck in Beach if the real world has been going on for 11 months. This led him to take his own life in the Beach, unable to bear being trapped there any longer. Yet, due to the intensity of his vengeance, he found it difficult to move on to other side, remaining trapped even after his suicide. His spirit lingers there, much like what happened with Cliff and Neil. Yet, in contrast to Cliff and Neil, who had a deep love and sense of protection for BB, Higgs' lingering soul is fueled by overwhelming emotions of vengeance and animosity. Therefore, he devised a plan to fulfill his revenge so he could finally move on to the other side by making Last Stranding a reality, ensuring his vengeance was complete against everyone, including Amelie. The problem was that Amelie had sealed her beach, so Higgs needed another EE to break the seal and trigger Last Stranding. At that time, Higgs had not yet found a new EE candidate.
Well, let's just say I've died on the beach before. You of all people should understand the loneliness. Tens of thousands of years just wandering. Without you, fragile Amelie, anyone who doesn't fucking take it. Just when I finally had embraced oblivion, these dead folks right here up and called me back. 4,000 poor bastards who joined with APAS in a convergence. To them, I was another ghost. Just another lingering soul. Well, with so much in common, they thought I should team up with their little company. And me being me, I played along. All the while, I was working towards my own personal goal.
Returning to the definition of chiral first.
By utilizing our service on the beach, we can remain connected to this world. In this way, we can oversee and restrict your activities to ensure another void out never occurs. It may please you to hear that Drawbridge's efforts have guaranteed the emergence of a new plate gate, one through which we will extend our reach to the next continent. Once it has been integrated into the network, another will form. And by perpetuating this global domino effect, we will bridge the gaps between every remaining landmass until all of the planet's scattered continents are joined, just as they were in the beginning. A single, united whole, over which we will be able to preside.
Take a look. This is what the world looked like hundreds millions of years ago. It was just one big continent.
Rest assured, we are capable not only of managing your movements, but every aspect of your existence. APAS is also connected to the gazers, and knows where they are at all times. By using this connection, we can exert control over each and every one of them. With both gazers and humans under our constant supervision, we can eliminate the risk of void-outs. We will save you by putting an end to travel and physical interaction in the absence of this stimulus. Your species will stagnate.
But isn't it just a shortcut to extinction?
Not at all. Only humanity's evolution as a species will cease. You will leave your mortal flesh behind and transition to an eternal existence within the expanse of the Chiroverse.
So we'll live forever as a bunch of dead people.
You will be neither alive nor dead, but endure as a soul.
What's gonna happen to this world?
We will continue to keep watch over all remaining life on Earth until the end of time. As caretakers, we will regulate the activity of other species to ensure that none claim your mantle of apex predator. Humanity will be free to thrive in perpetuity, having evolved into a form that allows you to escape extinction, as is your desire.
No! I'm not about to let that happen.
Segment 4: Die-Hardman's Vessels.
I take it not even APAS was aware that I've been posing as Charlie this whole time. It's funny, don't you think? The fact is, APAS has never had complete access to Drawbridge's data. Our new Cupid design allows us to restrict connection and limit the flow of information. I oversaw the creation of the Drawbridge prototype during my time as Director of Bridges. And that's when I contacted my old friend, Tarman. And together, we worked to convert this deep tar hunting vessel into a mobile base of operations. It came to my attention that APAS 4000 was seeking to commission Lochna to design a new type of Cupid. Specifically, it wanted her to deliver a model which could one day be used to control all of mankind. Since the technology makes use of human beaches, the human element was essential to the process. Lochna refused at first, so I contacted her and convinced her to take on the job. At least that's how it looked to everyone else. The purpose of this Cupid was not just to facilitate connections, but to sever them. Namely, the ones between our systems and the dead. And without their influence, APAS will go back to being a tool.
Do this, and you will never escape the Death Stranding.
To forsake our flesh and our freedom is out of the question. So, we'll seek out others who value them as we do. Build communities, raise children, live, and love.
We would rather strive to achieve the impossible while remaining true to ourselves. To struggle on against the odds in search of new lands and new worlds.
You can't.
Can't we? The chiral network enables us to travel like never before. So, humanity will continue to make use of APAS and embrace the true potential of the chiral network. No one wants to go back to the dark days that followed the Death Stranding.
It's true, what you said about travel. There are people with dunes who can use the beach to jump just about anywhere.
The physical sensation of movement is something we all crave. That unity of body and soul. Dunes may still wind up being an evolutionary dead end. But even in that possibility, I see hope. Now I am going to activate the Cupid we used to connect the continents.
Now that the issue with APAS 4000 has been resolved, what about the hidden agenda of Higgs? Did he manage to find the new EE? The answer is yes. During tomorrow's battle against Higgs, in one of the confrontations, Higgs succeeded in obtaining a strand of Louis' hair. Upon conducting the rough research, he discovered that the EE candidate he had been searching for all along was Louis, the biological daughter of a repatriate none other than Sam.
This is the catalyst that I've been searching for. Brand new extinction entity. Still in the dark, huh? Your genes lined up beautifully. God damn, man. She's your daughter.
What?
This is further supported by the evidence of data contained in a necklace that Neil gave to Sam during his final confrontation at Lost Soul Beach.
I'm so sorry. I tried to protect him. I'm sorry. From Lucy. For you.
What is this?
Keep Lou safe.
Segment 5. Tomorrow. Thus, Higgs kidnaps Louis to carry out his revenge. Higgs aimed to use her to create an opening into the sealed Amelie Beach and initiate the Last Stranding to annihilate the universe. After Higgs is defeated and the Last Stranding appears to commence, Tomorrow instead harnesses her power to reseal the beach and transforms into a gigantic version of her original self, the still living Lou. She realizes that despite her new form, Lou would never ally with Higgs. With her newfound strength, she eliminates Higgs by devouring him alive and crushing what remained of his skull underfoot, obliterating him for good. Then, at a crucial moment, Emily reappears once again to save Sam by enforcing repatriation as she did in the first game, but this time Sam is repatriated along with Louis. Consequently, just like in the first game, Sam returns to his own beach. However, remember Hartman's theory that a person's beach depends on their beliefs and will. Just like the beaches of World War victims, they have beaches with a starting and ending point in their loop. Because of Sam's regret and resentment was the last moment he saw Lou, Sam's beaches transforms to exactly how it was the last time he spent time with Lou. Then, after Sam walks to the end of the loop, he and Louis return back safely to the last repatriation place, APAS 4000's beach. From this point, Death Stranding 2 concludes with cutscenes that seem to indicate some time has passed after the ending, where delivery robots traverse the abandoned highways, even the stranded and neglected DHP Magellan, accompanied by Tomorrow's monologue that echoes Fragile's monologue at the start of the game. Additionally, she carries many memories of other characters like Rainey, who has finally given birth and is beginning to grow into a healthy toddler. Tomorrow also appears to still possess the ability to accelerate time depicted through her cigarette, all while gazing at the new plate gate looking ready as a porter. By the way, why did Kojima choose the name Tomorrow for Louis? It's not because Kojima likes the loss of food, leading to the name Tomorrow. Rather, it's because everyone in the previous game wholeheartedly trusted Sam and Tomorrow, as they had given them hope for a future in a world that is clearly on the brink of extinction.
Thought you didn't like having to handle things with care.
Because it was hard enough keeping my own shit together. Back when we met at the cave, the only thing I cared about was making it to the next sunrise. Sure as hell didn't care about America or the future. I was living a lie, hung up on past regrets. I was broken. But somewhere along the way, I started changing. I started meeting people that made me think that maybe it wasn't all bad. People that put their faith in tomorrow, and in me. That kept the lights on, and waited for hope to arrive. So I gotta deliver, for their sake.
You and me, Sam.
Lou.
I'm here, Louise.
Yeah.
Now that the story of both games in the franchise has gone full circle, will there be a Death Stranding 3? What are your thoughts about it all? I am Fury Rust, thanks for watching, and I'll see you down the line. Keep on keeping on.